$16 credit worth. I do not care.
My brother asks from behind me as he helps me slip on my suit jacket. Excited. I'm looking forward.
Oh my god! You're probably wondering why I'm in a precarious position on my floor at the foot of my chair with my books behind me, because I had this video initially set up in my bedroom and that just looked sad. So why am I holding the book up like that? I'm still sick. This video is immediately following the video that I just ended, in which we don't know if I have the flu or a sinus problem or really what my issue is, but at the end of that video, if you watched it, I received my first piece of publishing mail, Wildside by Elsie Silver. I didn't film me unpacking it because they use the most atrocious packing. It's essentially made out of like recycled something, but when you tear it open, it just falls everywhere. And I just said to myself, I'm not dealing with this mess, and so I opened it up outside and I didn't film it, and that's the hill I'm happy to die on, to be honest with you. I was really looking forward to this release. I know that it wasn't incredibly anticipated because of who it's about, but I'm very intrigued. And I also just want to feel better because I shit you not, 10 minutes ago I was crying because they no longer have the Cinnabon hot cross buns in Woolworths, and I need something to just make me feel better and not like an NPC who is just going around lost and sick. So enter Wildside by Elsie Silver. I'm hoping that it brings me joy and I really like it, because I did enjoy the character in the last book and I really enjoyed the last book, but I also just feel like shit. I'm going to try and read it now. I know that I'm in the middle of reading Caraval, but it has been moved to where books go to die in my currently reading pile, and I'm also going to go to bed. My body hurts, I'm sweating, and I really just want to lay down in front of my fan. I wish Felix would join me, but he won't because he's not that kind of cuddly cat, as depressing as that is. I probably need to take some meds and things like that first. I also really want spicy noodles. Not that it's going to help me. I'm so upset. I know exactly what bookmark I want to use. Hold on. I'll just grab a tassel. Look at how cute it is, and it's green. Oh, I'm gonna fall. It fits the theme. It's so on brand. Did I get this off of Etsy? I think so. It's so cute. I don't know about anyone else, but I tend to gravitate towards spicy food when I'm not well. I've had an absolute hankering for this one dish. For some reason the restaurant hasn't been accepting orders. I guess I'm making my own ramen. I did not read any portion of Wildside last night because I was editing my last video. I'm gonna make the thumbnail now. Okay, so I am 13 pages into Wildside. You don't really get much on the back in terms of, well, if you've read the other two books, you know who the book is about, but you don't get much on what is going on. If you've read the other books, you know that there is a bit of a tumultuous relationship with the main female character's sister, and that's all I'll really explain, but it essentially kicks off from a pretty big part of the last book, at least for this character, and I'm really hoping, I can't remember if, I feel like I read part of this, but I'm also not sure. I can't remember if there was like a snippet at the end of Wild Eyes. I think maybe there was, because I feel like I remember reading this, but I need to discuss, and this will be, I guess, if you consider 13 pages in to be spoilers, but essentially the main female character, her eventual love relationship is with the ex-landlord of her sister, who is now deceased. If you've read the books, you already know that, but again, this is the third book in this series, so if you're not looking for spoilers, this is probably the wrong video to be watching, but that's fine. I'm really hoping that this is all just a bit of a miscommunication, because she essentially thinks that the ex-landlord killed her sister. She essentially thinks that the ex-landlord killed her sister by evicting her, which that's a lot of blame to put on a landlord for just, like, yes, you know, she says, oh yeah, you know, call me if anything happens, 2 years prior to her sister actually passing away. And I'm praying, I'm absolutely praying that there is some sort of miscommunication. Maybe I need to read a bit more, but I'm just feeling a lot of feelings about the way that this is evolving. And that is, she's very angry at him because, again, she's under this impression that he evicted her, and he evicted her sister, and that's why she died. I think it was a drug overdose, but she's got a little boy who is now under the care of, what's her name? Tabitha. I didn't even read her name, but the little boy is now under the care of Tabitha, and on the back it says that in order to have guardianship of him, she needs to be marrying him, even though her sister didn't have a partner and had sole custody of the child. Maybe it's different when you're the actual parent. I think that there's been some sort of miscommunication. Sorry, I just needed to do a bit more forward reading, and I'm still confused because all Tabitha is doing is just being really aggressive and really just not letting Reese speak at all. But I do understand now why she needs to marry him. Everything else, very confusing. And also the eviction story is a little bit confusing because that doesn't seem right with what I've just read. Anyway, obviously, not obviously, I hope it's a miscommunication thing, but if it's not, and if he actually like evicted this person who he allegedly now has, I don't want to say owns the child because that's not right. What is it called? Under legally Milo is under Reese's care now because it was in Erica's will. So Erica's the dead sister, Reese is the landlord, Tabitha is the sister who needs to marry Reese allegedly for custody of the child. Custody, that's the word. So Reese has custody of Milo and she needs to marry him for custody, but then I don't know where this story of getting evicted has come from. Maybe it was a lie from her sister to like make her feel better, or maybe she's assuming. What do you do when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me, and in this case Tabitha is just making an ass out of herself. At least I hope that that's what's happening. I feel like that might have been all gibberish, but still, Reese sounds like a good, broody, secret Fight Club tattooed kind of man, and I'm into that. And I did like his vibe in the last books because he was tall, broody, handsome, etc. I have 2 updates for you all. The first update is that I actually have COVID and I wonder why I've been dying. The second update is that I'm on page 128 of Wildside. I'm trying to keep myself contained because I didn't know the premise of this book and I didn't know what was happening. I'm a little bit conflicted because the whole situation that they're in is kind of dark, and I'm trying to like look past that fact. Not look past it, but their feelings and things like that and how they're acting can sometimes be a little bit confusing given how the book started. I think that they're realizing that maybe her sister wasn't entirely honest with both of them, excuse that, and that's probably why that they're acting the way that they're acting. Like they still have this mistrust for each other, which is completely fair, but they're also getting a bit handsy, which is a little bit confusing in my brain. Like I said, I'm a little bit confused. They know that there is something else happening, but neither of them really want to speak ill of the dead. Finding out what he does for work was kind of funny. I'm literally having the darndest time and nothing even really remotely has happened. Can you see? I'm really not even that far into the book, and the tension, their energy is incredible. It's so opposite. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping because I really want to read. I bought 3 books today because I have a problem. Legendary. I have not finished Caraval. That's fine. Scythe and Sparrow. This is my, what do they call them? Bookshelf trophy, because I listened to this audibly, as every Bryn Weaver book in this series should be, because they're just peak and nobody can tell me otherwise. And First Time Caller by B.K. Morrison. I realized that this was the author of the Love Light Farm series, the one that I really enjoyed. And everyone seems to be really liking it. Also, it's got the cool, like, it's got a cool sheen to it, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I have a problem. Also, I haven't bought a book, I think, since The Vegetarian, which was like January. That was warranted. Oh, and I got this mug. It's so cute. It was only $5. And those are some COVID tests. Slay. And that's my lunch. Dumplings and rice. What? I need to quickly discuss with you all. So I mentioned that I've been reading the Mile High series. I like the first book more than the second book. Haven't read the third book, But then today I accidentally paid for an Audible membership. Don't ask me how I accidentally did that. I thought I was signing up for a free trial. I absolutely was not. So I thought I really have to get my $16 credit worth. If there is one thing that I love, it is the narrator Jacob Morgan, as well as every single person who has narrated the Bryn Weaver series. You can't see them, whatever. Color me surprised when I just type in Jacob Morgan on Audible and find that he's narrated one of the Liz Tom Ford books. Impressive. Let's check it out. It's the 4th book, so I haven't read the 3rd one, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, so I'm like, yep, I can't find it on Libby. Let me give Daddy Amazon my 1 credit for this book. Lo and behold, there's also the female narrator of one of the Bryn Weaver books. So not only do I have Jacob Morgan and a female narrator from Bryn Weaver book, it's also a series I'm in the middle of reading. Color me surprised. I was actually really happy with it, and I was listening to it when I went to go and buy the books that I just showed you guys. And already, like, I'm 4 chapters in because I read on 2.1 speed or something, and I'm having such a silly, goofy time. They're such good audiobook narrators. They make it so immersive. You just know that they're getting paid. Well, I hope they're getting paid big bucks, because I personally would pay them the big bucks to narrate a book that I wrote, because they're just so good at it. You know when somebody is just so good at their job? They're just so good at their fucking job. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did find Jacob Morgan from the Lights Out audiobook. No regrets. That was like one of the best audiobooks I think I've ever listened to, except for Swordheart, in which that one female narrator narrated all of the characters, and they were all incredible, and I was falling in love with a man who was voiced by a woman, and that was very confusing, but it's just so good. And immediately there's it's man falls first, or like yearns harder, but it's so good. I don't think I would have had I know that I wouldn't have had such a good time reading the books as I am listening to them. This is why I love audiobooks, and I'm such a hater of people who hate on people who listen to audiobooks and they're like, oh, it doesn't count. I will remember this more than if I was to sit there and read something that I dislike, because of how immersive some of these audiobook narrators are, and nobody can tell me that that means I'm not reading it. You are not better than me because you physically read the fucking book. And you know what? I will buy the book just in spite of whoever says that, and read it again faster. And then that is how I will still have more books than you at the end of the year. And yes, my dick will be bigger. I do not care. Balls. Okay, I know we shouldn't talk ill of the deceased, but it's a book, and her sister is pissing me off. She's shit, and I'm not going to say why. I'm very towards the end. She's essentially going through journal entries, and it's making me really annoyed, because addiction is tough. But she was sober. She was sober during these journal entries, and they're making me very angry, because there was so much miscommunication because of these issues that she was just making up in her own head. What the fuck? We had to wait so long. Wait, I looked ahead. Oh no. I'm really upset because I'm almost at the end of Play Along. I literally have 2 chapters and the epilogue left. That is depression.
And I miss you.
Wait, did you eat today?
Don't act like you were the one who had food delivered to my house 3 separate times today. Midnight asking for a meeting, and Monday afternoon was your soonest available time to chat. Locking my car with that goddamn manila. He stares at me in disbelief. I push them in his direction. Just take a look at them. Nearly Isaiah filled them in already. The words slapped me in the face. In a way, they did. What? Reese chuckles at the expression on my face. Wide, unblinking eyes, mouth dropped open, repeating her words again to make sure I heard them correctly. Really?
My brother asks from behind me as he helps me slip on my suit jacket. Excited, I'm looking forward to it. My brother and I look at each other for a moment, silently saying all the things. Well, Miller pipes up. I offer you a try to speak. How are you so beautiful, Kenny? You were already the most stunning woman I've ever seen, but now... I shake my head in disbelief.
I really want to give that 5 stars. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Play Along, 5 stars. Oh, It was so emotional. I was in the gym this morning and my throat started blocking up because I was trying to stop from crying as I'm doing a run. It was so stupid. Wait, was it this morning? Yesterday? No, it was definitely this morning. It was the most wretched sound. I just sound like I was being strangled. Caught Up is 4.43. Who's Caught Up about? It's about Kai. It's Isaiah's brother, who we follow Isaiah in Play Along 4.48. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty consistent. Who's Rewind It Back? Is it about Rio? It's about Rio. That's so exciting. That was genuinely my favorite one. So Mile High got a 2. The Right Move got a 3. Caught Up, I haven't read, but now I really want to read. Play Along, 5. And then Rewind It Back, obviously. No rating, because I haven't read it. Work is done for the day, and I'm currently making dinner. And by making dinner, I mean I'm microwaving a little bowl of rice and air frying 3 chicken tenders, of which I will then cover with a fried egg. But I really want to get into Wildside and finishing it, because I'm so close to the end and I kind of just want to know what the goosey Jess. I want to know what is going to happen in this last bit. Oh my god. Is it happening? I need a moment. Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have nice things? Why is there always some sort of third something? If this book I need to read it on camera because I simply fucking cannot. Good news and bad news. We were doing so good. What do you mean? We're doing this here? Really? You gonna do this to me? Fuck off. Aw. I needed to get through that emotional turmoil on camera because boy are they fucking lucky that that's not how it ended in the worst way possible. Well, maybe not the worst way. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if this is my favorite one or if West is my favorite one. I think maybe West, for reasons I will not elaborate on the internet. I feel sick to my stomach. Yeah, I love reading. I love reading. Need to go. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've vlogged. I think it was like, not I think, it was back in March maybe, and I was reading Wildside. Was it March? Was it February? No, I think it was March. But now it's May. I've been to Japan already. That video is definitely not up, which is fine. Now I'm reading, I'm reading Wild and Wrangled. I'm that much of the way through it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like all of the books lately that I've been reading, they're taking so long to smash, and it's really irritating me. And I know that books aren't all about that, but I don't know, like it took them like 200 pages just to be even mildly intimate. In this book, in Wildside, it was kind of the same. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that. And well, I do. I don't like it. That's the feeling that I get, actually. I don't like it. I understand not wanting to make an entire book about smut or sexual relations, whatever. But to leave it until that late in the game feels weird to me. It feels very odd. Really though, I haven't read anything except for romance this entire year. Is that a lie? I think so, because I think I technically read The Vegetarian a few months ago, but I just can't be compelled to read anything. Actually, I'm such a fucking liar. I'm reading technically in the middle of Caraval. I still don't know how to say it, but I don't know, the vibe has been romance. The vibe has really been romance. And I know that I'm not the only one. I feel like I want to read something else, but I just don't know what. If you have an idea about what you want me to read, put it in the comments, because I truthfully, I have no idea. Also, what are our thoughts on the new covers for the, is it Fallen Children, Children of Gods? The Carissa Broadbent series. I read the first and second book of that, and then I was sort of through the third, but I kept losing my place. I don't mind the covers. I don't like how they're not like very fighty anymore, but I don't mind them. And then that's my thoughts on that. I'm pretty out for like an undisclosed amount of